Tex-Mex tortilla soup, which is one of my family's favorite recipes. I hail from Texas, and so having a good bowl of Tex-Mex tortilla, sophisticated flavor that just bursts on so many different levels in your mouth. So not only that, but it's really good for you with lots of nutritious vitamins, and you can make it so that it's really simple to have as a lunch and as a dinner, because we're going to use the crock pot. So join me today while we make ingredients that you need to make this tortilla soup. The most important one being the chicken broth, which I actually make in advance with chicken stock, and I'll go over that another time. But make sure that you buy some that's organic. It doesn't have any MSG or natural flavors. And I make about this much. I guess it would be close to a quart. That's about how much you'll need for it. Now the reason why you don't want to have any natural flavors or MSG is because monosodium glutamate is an excitotoxin. What that means is there is a communication from the brain down the spinal cord to all the organs of your body. And neurotransmitters are these little chemical reactions or peptides that happen at the synapse, where the communication place between the nerve endings from one site to the other. Excitotoxins make the brain talk to those neurons on and on down through the spinal cord to those organs at a really, really fast rate, to the point where it causes super excitability and brain death, leading to really bad diseases down the line, such as Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and symptoms such as headache, fatigues, vomiting, allergies, and children in particular are very susceptible to these excitotoxins. So you want to read your labels when you're at the store checking your foods, and you definitely don't want to put it in your tortilla soup. So I would recommend that you make your own chicken stock, and then in lieu of that, get some organic chicken broth. Okay, let's move on to getting back to the tortilla soup. You want to have your chicken broth, about 2 pounds of chicken thighs that you cube up. I like to use the air-chilled chicken thighs because the dark meat gives it a really good, high in protein, really rich flavor. Maybe half of an onion. You want about half of a cup of an onion. And then a couple of cloves of garlic that you're going to crush and use that. 2 to 3 cups of corn. I just get Whole Foods frozen corn kernels and pour it in, make my life really easy. And then you can use a can of Rotel, and if you don't have Rotel, you can chop up some tomatoes, or you can use non-salted tomato sauce, green chilies, and then you just use some seasonings. I like to use some chili powder, cumin, green chili powder, some sea salt, and some smoked paprika, which is just the wonderful flavor that gives Tex-Mex its bite, and it makes it taste muy caliente. Okay, next, let's go ahead and add some of these ingredients to the crock pot. So I actually already made my chicken stock ahead of time. And you know what? You can do this the night before, cook it all up, and then just have it ready for your lunch the next day. And all you need to do are add some of your garnishings. And as you can tell, I have a giant frozen chicken stock ice cube in my crock pot. You can completely thaw it out ahead of time. But like I said, I made this ahead of time. I keep batches of it in my freezer, and I just pour it in there. It's going to cook low and slow in the crock pot, so I'm really not worried about it. Then I'm going to chop up my chicken thighs or chicken breasts. I'm going to put about 2 pounds of that in there in bite-sized pieces. Add my corn. Add my Rotel, and add my seasonings. So as far as my sea salt goes, I use enough to give it some flavor, and if I've already flavored my chicken stock enough, then I don't need to add a whole bunch more, although the chicken's going to absorb that flavor. So I would say anywhere from maybe around, 2 to 4 tablespoons, but just season that to taste. This is my green chili powder in a different bottle, and I'll just sprinkle a little bit of that in. Sometimes kids don't like super spicy, but spicy is good. A lot of these seasonings like cumin and the chili powder are really great as far as they're anti-inflammatory agents, so they help remove any sort of extra inflammatory agents or free radicals that may be in your body, which that is stuff that you can get with MSG. So this is a good counter, and just for the free radical damage that occurs in the cell on a day-to-day basis. So I'll just shake a little bit of chili powder in there. Same thing with my smoked paprika. My favorite. some cumin, which gives it its Tex-Mex flavor and appeal. A little bit of the green, just because it's so awesome. Get that from New Mexico, specialty ship it, so awesome. And some of my sea salt, just shake a little bit of that in, because I'm not really one for measuring, and I'll give you general estimates, but that's just not how I cook. Alright, I'm going to turn this crock pot on. I'm actually going to put it on high to let that really heat up and thaw out my chicken stock ice block. And then meanwhile, I'm going to chop up half my onion, I'm going to crush my garlic, and just saute that a little bit on my cast iron skillet. When that's tender enough so that the onion parts are clear, I'm going to pour that in there, and then I'm done. I'm just going to let it cook. Once everything's thawed out and the chicken's ready to go, it probably only needs about an hour to cook on high. You can let it cook longer if you like. Then you can just pour it out and add, as far as serving your garnishings, all you have to add, oh, it's so awesome, is just some cilantro, some slices of avocado. You can sprinkle some cheese, and if you want to add some tortilla chips or just regular corn tortillas, you can. This would be a gluten-free type of meal, and if you don't use any of the tortilla chips, then it would be a paleo meal. So you have a little bit of good fats in there with your chicken, your avocado, and a little bit of cheese, and then mostly you've got a lot of really good vitamin C and lycopenes from the tomatoes, and really good protein benefits from the chicken, and good anti-inflammatory agents from the spices. So again, one of my favorite meals that we do at least once a week in the summertime.